Impersonating a medical personnel or a health worker in the UK is a crime. There are some of the things we do at times. I don't know if we really think about the aftermath of it before dabbling into such an act. Could I say that people do, cover shifts on behalf of another or others? I am not certain, but that could be obtainable in certain cases. Yes, it is obtainable because I remember sometimes my husband would swap his shift, but then he would also let the management know. Yes, if he's not able to cover a particular shift, he will call the person in charge of their rota to say, I am not able to do this shift, and I've asked this colleague of mine to cover my shift for me. And then they're gonna swap his name, put the colleague's name, and then change his name to the date he would like to work for that colleague, because you are swapping your shift. The person would work for you and you work for the person. That means on Monday today you are not coming, you're supposed to work on Monday, you are not coming, somebody will be doing it. That is practically and officially allowed, especially when you have elected the management, the person in charge of rota at your workplace. Okay, sorry, I'm just checking the microphone. So this person was arrested for impersonating a medical personnel. Exactly what it is tagged. That was in this very year, 2024. Unfortunately, the person is a Nigerian. I don't know how we do silly things at times. They put their photos here, but I'm not going to put them out here for anybody to see. It was a male mental health worker who went to represent or cover a shift on behalf of a female mental health worker. He arrived at the hospital in the mental health ward. This thing happened in a place called Dorset in England. The guy arrived there to cover the shift for the lady, and then they asked for his ID card. The name on the shift list was a female's name. When they asked for his ID card, he mentioned his name as a girl's name. Good and fine. Then bring your ID card, Mr. Man. He presented his own ID card. When village people want to open your yash, But then, there's no way he could have presented his own ID card. Because I know that in Obodoyibo, a man can say that he's a girl can say that he's a man. But me looking at you, you are different from the person in the ID card. You presented your own ID card and you gave a different name. It's confusing. Your ID card has a different name from the person on the notice board that was supposed to cover that shift on that day. This is a complication. Because assuming his ID card has a girl's name, the same name on the board, they feel allowable, despite saying him wear trousers and panty, they feel say him be transgender, or him be woman where he wear trousers come work. So these are some of the things that people do stupidly that should be curtailed. You that is sending somebody to go cover your shift for you, why not let them know? Ring the place, say you cannot make it, but this person would cover the shift for you. Especially, it should be somebody within your work circle, because the person you are sending to cover that shift, they are not sure if the person is trained to be a mental health worker or practitioner. They call them mental health practitioners, because they need to ascertain that this person has DBS, and the person is mental health trained. They pay them higher. I think they pay them higher than all these senior carers, to be honest, because the job is quite challenging. Mental health staff, So they need to ascertain all that. You can't just send anybody. The best thing for you to have done should have been to call your colleague or report to your lines manager that you cannot be able to cover that shift that day. Can anybody take up the shift? They can then ring for an agency to cover that. But this young man went in for the crime. It is a crime. They tagged it intelligence alert. They actually alerted the security on that day, and they snapped him as he entered the hospital. Look at his photo. He's even wearing a man's shirt. I might want to show you this. It's crazy, And then impersonating a medical professional. That's really crazy. That's sad, to be honest. Don't be a victim of circumstance or a victim of nonsense in the UK, especially now that everywhere, is like this. If they catch you doing any rubbish, any year, I think the punishments may be ×2 or ×4 of what it used to be because of what just they should recently, all these protests and all these crashes in the UK. Anyway, this is it for this content. I have just told you how to swap your shift if you're not going to make it. Though I have learned that some people also, use other people's ballet to work. I'm not sure how it works. Let me not sit down here and say the things that I don't know. I am not sure how that works. But even at that, if you are using another person's ballet to work, make a they blow our pidgin English. You make sure that you are using a man's ballet to work, make it be saying a man. If you are using a woman's ballet to work, make it be saying a woman. Don't be saying you are using another person's ballet to work. The person can't be man, you can't be woman. If something like this occurs, how would you defend it? And some persons, if you are answering another person's name, sometimes this comedian a cappella, sometimes there was a joke he cracked the day we attended our 10th wedding anniversary in Middlesbrough, Teesside University precisely. He said he didn't carry another person's ballet, go hustle, say make him go work. They called the person's name. He didn't know that it was actually the one they were calling, because his name no be Michael now. They called Michael. He was just busy doing what he was doing. Michael, they said they called 3 times. When he remembered that, he was actually standing in place for Michael. So basically you have to shine your eye where when you do things like this, or else the law will take its course against you, and you wouldn't like it. Impersonation is an offense. It's an offense everywhere, even in my home country in Nigeria. Impersonating somebody, it's not a joke. Talk more of where the law works, and it's obviously a sad thing to consider, because you going into work in a mental health setting where you probably do not have training. I'm not saying he didn't. I don't know. I can't conclude that he never had training in the mental. It could be his colleague that also works in a mental health setting, but maybe in different hospitals, that she's sent to go cover her up, let's just assume. But what if this person didn't have any training on mental health and you just walk in to cover for another person? What would you be doing there? Do you know how to handle the patients? Because you need to know the clients, you need to know their care plan, you need to know how to respond to them, how they react, what you are expected to do when they react, when they throw tantrums at you, how you are to defend yourself in case they begin to throw tantrums or they have episodes. Because from the name mental health, you know what that means. They feel blow you or kick you, and you're not expected to kick back or to retaliate in case of any episode that suddenly shows up. Anyway, it's quite a pity. Let's just be careful what we do to avoid getting into some kind of troubles that you might ever regret venturing into that. Thank you once again for watching this video. Like my video, subscribe my channel, and keep coming back for more. Bye for now.